Hey boys, welcome back to some more Nrl Supercoach Season 2021, and it's going to be the updated team. Obviously, the team list got announced today on the Tuesday, Team List Tuesday. Always exciting, the first one of the year. Got to find out the big surprises. Not too many, but a few omissions, a few gains to a couple of teams that were a little bit of a surprise, but yeah, it's a couple of days until round one begins. Very exciting. I've obviously reworked the team a lot. So this is basically the final team. I'll definitely be making some changes before kickoff on the Thursday, just because there's a few positions I'm not completely sold on, but looking through my team, I'm pretty happy with how things are shaping up. So yeah, before I get into the team and discuss that, I will say I obviously will start a league, and I'll start two leagues. Generally, the first one fills up pretty quickly. So in the past, the two leagues have worked well. They both filled up. So I'll create the two leagues, and I'll put the codes in the description and the comments, so you go to like the sidebar. I think it's on the sidebar. You go to join league, and you'd put in the code to join the league. It's pretty simple. You just follow the sort of settings on the side. But yeah, so yeah, join the league so you can play along. It's always good fun to see. I usually go pretty well overall, but generally the leagues are pretty strong. Like there's always some strong plays in the leagues, dude. I don't think I've ever won one of the leagues. Get knocked out pretty early, even though I finished pretty high. But let's get into the meat and potatoes here. Let's get into the team. So starting out with the dummy halves, this is unchanged. Api Coruscant, my starting dummy half. I was definitely tempted to potentially have Connor Watson as a starting dummy half instead of Coruscant to free up some more cash elsewhere, but because I've seen a few other teams, and a lot of people are going with Connor Watson and Jacob Little, which I don't dislike. It definitely crossed my mind, but I don't know. I still think Coruscant is really good value. He's not cheap, but I think he is underpriced. I think he'll start well, and I like him. I like him as my starting dummy half. I like having a gun dummy half up there. It seems like a lot of people are going off Cook, but yeah, I'm happy with Coruscant at the moment. Unless I need to do some bulk changes, then potentially I still wouldn't mind having Connor Watson and Little as two cheap options. Because I think they could still do a good job. Because the big news with Jacob Little is with the Tigers team is that there's no backup dummy half. The young fella Simpkin is not on the bench. So that pretty much means Little is you would think going to play 80 minutes. Now I don't think that'll continue for too long. Obviously they got a couple of guys to come back. That Simpkin could definitely come into the team as the backup. So I don't expect Little to play 80 minutes most weeks, but he's definitely tipped. He's definitely their number one dummy half, and he's going to be playing big minutes. So he's basically a must-have. There's definitely some good options at dummy half. I do like Jake Turpin as well with the Broncos team list, but yeah, I'm happy with this. The only real change would be Connor Watson potentially over Coruscant to free up cash. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think I need the extra cash, but we'll see. We'll see what I think up in the next couple of days. Now the front row. Oh man, the front row. This is the one position I've just been switching, and oh my goodness, I didn't have Christian Welsh for the most part. Jack Hetherington, I had in my previous team, but he was in and out. He was out he was out just previously to making this video, but I brought him back in. I had Matt Lodge, but I sort of at the moment I'm going Hetherington over Lodge. It was sort of out of those two, and I don't know, for some reason I just think Hetherington is a better pickup than Lodge. But, probably either way, probably not going to hurt you too badly. And then Big Tino, I had Tino in the back row for a moment there. I had him in the front row, I think, in my initial team, and then I didn't have him at all. But I still, for 500k, I'm pretty happy with him there. The front row, I'm not set on. Christian Welsh, I do think he's underpriced. And again, looking at the team list, this is basically why I brought him in, is that, I thought he would start, and he is. Solomona is actually starting at lock, so he's actually a bit of a tempting option as well. But is he going to play big minutes? Probably not. I think Christian Welsh will, because their bench doesn't really have that many minutes in it, really. So Christian Welsh I'm pretty keen on, with Dale Finucane being out for a while as well. So it's, And then Daniel Ogden, or no, not Daniel Ogden, Ofahigi Ogden. He's got the starting role at the Dogs there, so I've gone with him. He's 243k. There's other cheapies, Otto Kamano for the Tigers, Spencer Linu for the Panthers. Both, a little bit cheaper, but not much. And then they're also on the bench. So I'm like, Ogden, he's probably just going to make potentially more cash, but yeah, I'm happy with that for now, because I'm not going to play him. Obviously, he's just there for a bit of a cash cow. Hopefully, he can score decently starting and do something there. Unless I go with like a Spencer Linu or Osaka Manu potentially, just to free up some more cash. Could do that. The back row, at the moment, Angus Crichton, Tamalolo. Those two, I'm pretty much locked in. I have toyed around with potentially not having Tamalolo and going Ryan Madison, but honestly, I think Tamalolo is gonna score as well as he ever has. So I don't know. I'm pretty set on Crichton and Tamalolo. And then the third one, so I've got Tarpany here. I think my initial team I had David Fafita, but and then I had Cameron Murray. So now I've gone with Joe Tarpany, and he is not locked in. I'm actually really considering going Nathan Brown. I was actually going to make that switch just before starting the video, because again, with the Parramatta Eels bench, they don't have like they're pretty light on their bench for middle forward. So I think Junior Paulo is going to play big minutes, and then Nathan Brown I think will play huge minutes. So I'm probably more keen on Brown than Tarpany. So I don't think I'm going to keep with Tarpany, even though I think he's pretty good value as well. But I'm probably leaning towards Nathan Brown now. But that's definitely an area that I'm not sure of. And then the bench here, we got Jordan Ricky, who's got the starting spot, so he's a lock-in. Tyrell Fuimaono, he's got the starting lock spot, so I mean, again, he's basically, he's not a must-have, because I don't know about the job security. I don't know. He could easily find himself out of the team. He can have the odd bad game in him, and if he misses a few tackles here and there, then I could see him getting dropped. But I mean, he got the starting lock spot, so it's hard not to pick him at 250k or 260. And then I've gone with Sean Bloor, just because he's obviously out for won't really show up there, but he's out for like 6 to 8 weeks, I think. So he's gone for a while, but I'm sort of like, there weren't really that many other better cheapy options. I mean, I know you had Ryan James, who got a bench spot, but I don't really see him getting many minutes. And I'm sort of like Sean Bloor. He's definitely a talent, and I feel like when he comes back, he probably, I don't know if he will get a like the starting spot, but I think he will play pretty big minutes. So I'm sort of like, I'll just keep him there and save the trade, because I don't know. I if someone else pops up, I might switch him to Ryan James. I might switch him to someone else. But at the moment, I'm like, maybe I'll just wear having a non-player for a few weeks and hope he comes back and plays big minutes, and I don't have to trade him in. But yeah, we'll see about that one. That's a bit up in the air as well. The halves, they've stayed the same. So Mitchell Moses and Cameron Munster. I'm pretty much locked in. I don't think I'm going to change these. Moses, I think, is just too good a value. Nathan Cleary, obviously, is probably going to be the best halfback in the game still, but for 480k, I mean, I can't, dude, just the value, I just feel like it frees up so much cash elsewhere that I just, yeah, it's so hard not to downgrade, but yeah, it could bite me. It could bite me in the ass, that one, but I'm pretty happy with it. And then Cameron Munster, I'm happy with as well. I just think Cody Walker, he's in great form, and the Rabbitohs are definitely an attacking masterclass at the moment. But I do think, Cody Walker is overpriced. I mean, he scored 200 points in the last game of the season last year to just skyrocket his price. So he's so expensive. I mean, he's only a little bit more expensive than Munster, but I don't know. I just feel like Munster is more safe. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think Walker will score well, but I don't know. I'm pretty locked in with Munster. I think he'll do the job. And then my backup. So I did have Jaden Sullivan, but he's probably not going to get a game anyway. And now he picked up an injury, so he's definitely not going to start. So I've got Sam Walker, just for a cheapie. I don't expect him to play. It depends. I mean, if the Roosters play badly, he could definitely find himself in there, sometime during the year, but I don't expect much. He's just sort of there to free up some cash. And I mean, if Moses goes down, or if someone else pops up, then we can work around it. But yeah, at the moment I just got Sam Walker just for the cheap price. Not much else doing. Not much else doing in the halfback department, dude. And then Connor Watson, obviously the backup, 5'8", just an absolute gimme. You got to have him. Just, yeah, you must have. Absolute must have. And then the back line. So this has changed quite a bit. So we've got Kurt Capel comes in. So I was talking about this when I was talking about the Panthers, and I was saying Liam Martin and Kurt Capel are both really good pickups, but you can't really go either of them. But Capel has jagged. He's got that back row spot over Liam Martin, and I feel like it's still risky because, I could definitely see Liam Martin getting a starting spot there, maybe over Capel, but at the same time, I feel like Capel he's just been incredible since coming in, and he was great in Origin. I feel like since he got the start in round one, I feel like he's sort of cemented his spot there, and then Liam Martin, they're probably going to use more as a middle forward, because I think he definitely can play those tough the tough minutes in the middle, and Capel probably is more suited to the edge potentially in that. But yeah, and then being able to pick him up in center wing is just absolute gold. He can just get a nice safe 50 to 60 points hopefully, and yeah, it's golden. So yeah, Capel is definitely in. Charlie Staines, pretty much had him from the start. I do think he's a little bit he is awkwardly priced at 300k. I'm not sold on him, but he showed what he could do in a couple of games last year. I think the Panthers do have some attack in them again this year, so he should be good for a few tries. And then we've got it's a weird backline. We've got 2 Panthers, 2 Tigers. James Roberts, 277k. Again, he looks fit. He looks quick. He's cheap. I think he's not a must-have, but I think he's a very, very good pickup. I think I do think he's probably like Dane Laurie is definitely the best, like, cheap center wing option at 223k. He's looked really good in the trials. He's got that starting fullback spot. The only worry with him is the job security. With the players coming back, he might find himself out of the team, but I mean, if he plays well, he's you're not going to drop him. So as long as he plays well, he's going to stay at fullback, you would imagine. So he's a great pickup. I think the majority of people are going to get Dane Laurie. But then, like I was saying, James Roberts, I think, is probably the second best, cheaper centre wing option. He's never going to be like an absolute gun keeper, but I think he's good to average around that 40 to 50 mark. Definitely make some good cash and hopefully have a couple of. And I guess hopefully have a breakout year. I think the Tigers are going to be a fairly attacking team this year with the Leilua brothers and Roberts and Laurie. I think they got some attack in them, so I do like Roberts in there. And then the reserves, I got Jason Saab, Tessie New, and Bailey Simonson all getting a start. Jason Saab is sort of the only late inclusion. I'm not a huge fan of his, but I haven't seen too much of him. But again, I'll sort of look at other options. He's a cheapie. He's got the starting spot. I'll see, have a look if there's anyone else that I prefer. But at the moment, I'm pretty content with our back line. And then the fullbacks haven't changed. Pappenhausen and Tedesco, they're just, they're sort of set and forget, honestly. So there's the team. Not, the back line I think is all pretty well set. I'll definitely have another look over to see if there's any other good options. I guess the other, I did have Valentine Holmes in my initial team. But he doesn't have the fullback spot and he won't be goal kicking. So Holmes is he's a no-go. As I did have a Zarko in an updated team that I made recently, but I do like Zarko. He's the one guy that I did want to fit in because I feel like a lot of people are writing Zarko off, but he's always looked like a really good player. He just, he gets in some form slumps and his confidence gets shot and, he can go downhill, but geez, he is a good player. He'll be goal kicking. I think he's, I probably will try to get a Zarko in, because I just really like Zarko and I think he's like 340k. Definitely underpriced. So Zarko is the one guy I'm probably going to want to try and fit in, but I don't know how. Because I don't really want to get rid of anyone. Probably the only starting here that I'd want to get rid of is maybe Charlie Staines. But then, because everyone's got him, it's a bit of a gamble. The halves pretty much set. Sam Walker's the only guy that I'll just see if anyone else pops up or if I can afford anyone else that might play. But yeah, the halves are pretty good. Back row, pretty much set. Sean Bloor, we'll see. And then Joe Tarpany, I'm definitely going to switch Tarpany for someone else. I'll go back to David Fafita. Nathan Brown looks really good. Maybe even Cameron Murray again. I don't know. The hookers, I'm set. And then the front row, I'm not set. The front row, I'm definitely going to have to make a call on. But there's the team. So, yeah, hopefully you guys are enjoying the Supercoach. We're so close to round one. It's great stuff. But, make sure to like and comment. Make sure to join the league. Click go to your menu, whatever it's called, and put in the code to join one of the two leagues. And, it should be a good time. So I'll see you guys in the next one.